Hi guys, welcome back to another video. And the Black Friday offers that we all see come up when, this time of year have got me, and I've bought another Eastman guitar. And I've actually bought it from a place where I've never bought anything from before, a place called Project Music. And they photograph everything, so you know exactly what you're buying. And so far they've been absolutely brilliant. And even we didn't ship the guitar when it was like -6 and stuff. We waited for the weather to warm up. But it is finally here, and I have not opened this yet. So if it is in 2 pieces, you'll find out with me and laugh with me or cry with me or whatever. So I think if you're familiar with my other Eastman guitars, this one will surprise you. But there's also a bit of a clue that we waited to ship it until it stopped being freezing. So I reckon let's just get on with it. I've got a knife just here. So first thing I'm noticing is that this tag here, which is the original manufacturer shipping tag, I guess, from Beijing in China, is unbroken. So that means because they've definitely opened it, so it's been opened from that way. So let's and that means that this guitar has spent the entire time probably upside down, so that's a bit of a concern. But let's I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, I can see it's been opened this way because the tag there is broken. So I'm going to open it from that way as well. Even though, like I say, it's probably been upside down for most of the night and day. All right, let's open it. And I do promise I have not looked at this. You are seeing this live, just like when the last Eastman guitar got delivered a few years ago, which didn't go to plan. So let's hope this one does. Alright then, so the packing is already pretty good, to be fair. Always like it when I see this type of padding. It just fills you with confidence that they've done a good job. Oh, the case is different. I'll get it out. I am in a small room here, so if the angles get a bit funny, I do apologise, but yeah, that case is really cool. Check out this case. Let me see if I can show you the top of the case. It's sort of like, I just thought it'd be plain black. But it's sort of like this, I don't know, like false alligator leather type thing. No padding down the sides, just a bit at the bottom. So it is well padded, but I personally put a bit more in, but I'm sure it's sufficient. So here we go then. So you probably think already that's definitely not a, a Les Paul or a 335 type case. But I will keep you waiting a bit longer. But look at this case. Look, I totally didn't expect this case. I thought it'd just be a black plastic one. It's a really nice case. You got the Eastman logo on there as well. I'm just wondering the best way to do this if I move the camera. No, let's not. Let's keep it rolling. So nothing else in there. So I'm going to put this over here. All right then. So if you watched the video where I went birthday guitar shopping, there's another clue as to what this is, but it's actually a slightly different model. So I'm going to open it. It's one of them. I'm doing it in real time with the camera rolling, so I'm sort of like, oh, new guitar day. And I'm trying to think, shall I open this so we can both see it? If I turn sideways, then we'll both get a rough idea of it. And if it is in 2 pieces, well, it should be fine. I don't think it will be. We've got a latch back here. Yes, we do. This case is lovely. I know I've said that a few times, but because I was only expecting just black plastic, it's really, really nice. All right then. Is it more padded inside? Have I missed a latch? Yes, I have. All right. I'm trying to get you to see this as well, but here we go. So here we go. This is an Eastman E6. So that's why I mentioned my birthday guitar shopping video. There's a bridge pin sticking out there. It's actually a different bridge pin. I've just noticed that straight away. Right, I'll get to that in a minute. But I was trying out the E10s and the E1s, and I've been looking for a bigger body acoustic for a while, and I was really impressed with those. This is actually an E6 in the sunburst. And there's not that many videos or information on this guitar, so let's put it out. The guitar's not ice cold, so that's good. I don't expect it to be in tune though. Okay, right, I'm just going to put this on the little stand there for 2 seconds. Alright, let's get rid of this case. Pop the case just there. There we go. Alright then. So here it is. And straight away, that's what I was saying about the bridge pin. You've got all these ebony pins and then they've put in a plastic one there. So I'm guessing they lost one, or I don't know. That's a little bit strange. I'll look back on the photos and find out what's going on with that bridge pin. And in real time now, I'm just going to take my time just to sort of, you know, check there's no, because I could miss something now by getting overexcited. So just want to check there's no cracks or just obvious stuff straight off the bat. Smells great, that's for sure. What we got there? Yeah, so we do actually have a little tiny dink. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see it, but it's right here and I'm trying to get it in the light. And you might see it just there. This is non-aged or anything, so that's definitely a little dink in it. Very, very minor, but again, worth noticing. As is that flame mahogany on the back, that's pretty cool. If we've got any dinks on the top, that's the next thing to check. No, the top's absolutely mint, to be fair. So we got a weird bridge pin and one tiny little dink on the back, and it is literally thumbnail sized, smaller, like little fingernail sized. But it's still good to try and be mindful of these things, you know, when you're looking, and not get too carried away. I don't expect it to be in tune. One thing that strikes me straight away, because I've got the light just over there looking at it, I can see how sort of thin the coating is on the finish, which I really like on these. It sort of makes the guitar feel that it isn't sort of suffocated in thick lacquer kind of thing. I love that colour. I think the sunburst there, mostly dark, but you've got this subtle grain popping through on the burst. I think that looks gorgeous. We've got ebony fingerboard. And to be fair, I've got lucky with the piece of ebony there. That's a really nice, dark, consistent piece of ebony. We've got a bone nut as well. Let's sort of roughly check what that's cut like. Oh, mad. Yeah, that's cut really nice, to be fair. Spacing isn't off this time, so we're already doing better than the last delivery of Eastman I had. Well, I say delivery, you know, when I had it shipped. Normally I go and get guitars. It's quite rare for me to get a guitar delivered. Yeah, headstock is all looking good round there. This is quite interesting. So, I don't know if you'll be able to see on the back there of the headstock. I'll take a photo of it and put it on the video, but these spec-wise, as are a lot of Eastmans, apart from the top ones, say Pingwell tuners. And I've always had a bit of an issue with the Pingwell tuners. I've always ended up changing them or recommending people change them. I don't think they're that great. These, I think, are supposed to be Pingwells, but have Gotohs stamped on them. I'll have to check that, because I'm sure that the other pictures I've seen of these, the plain top version, they just have the plain Pingwells. But here we've definitely got Gotohs. So very quick spec rundown then. You've got on this one, it's not the Adirondack spruce top you get on the E10. I forget off the top of my head just now what it's the other type of spruce, and the name's just completely escaped me. I'll put a little note up. But you've got solid mahogany sides and a solid mahogany back as well. No electrics or anything. It's just an old school slope shoulder, you know, J45-ish acoustic guitar. We've got ebony bridge, bone nut and bone saddle. We got the slightly bigger Jessica frets that Eastman use, which I love, on the ebony fingerboard. Not kind of over the top with, you know, rosettes or inlays or anything. Just a really nice, simple guitar. Although I am catching more and more of the flame and stuff. I don't know if that's going to come through on the camera. Even on the sides. it's kind of flamey on the mahogany all the way around, so that's really nice. The neck is mahogany as well, but it's like a satin finish. It's not got the gloss that the body has. And then you've just got this quite sort of simple binding on the front and back. Very similar binding actually to what you get on the electrics. It's that, again, I'll show you a picture up close, but it's sort of this multi-layered yellowy kind of coloured binding, which is really cool. And yeah, it's just a good all solid wood slope shoulder guitar. So let's see if it's in tune. I would very much so doubt that. Not bad. Bearing in mind this has been in a van and stuff overnight and now sat in my house for a while. Very, very easy to play. Like straight out the box, I can tell this has had a bit of tweaking and stuff, as evidenced by the missing bridge pin. I'm definitely going to ask about that. It must have flown across the workshop or something. But, right, I'm going to stop now because while the camera's rolling, there's only so much I can spit off the top of my head. I'm actually going to now stay with this for a couple of days. I'm going to play it. I'm going to just learn it, feel, you know, get to know it. And then you'll join me in just a second, but for me it will be, you know, in a few days' time sort of thing. So let's get to it. Before we get onto the sounds, I just wanted to say a couple of things about Project Music. So after the other day when we unboxed the guitar, I emailed obviously Project Music about the bridge pin and the little mark. And after hours, the owner rang me up straight away and he could not have been more sorry, more trying to make it right kind of thing. And it was a really small thing. And it's a couple of days later now and the guy has found the bridge pin. It must have, like I said, flown off in the shop somewhere. But I've had a few days with the guitar and the bridge pin hasn't arrived with me just yet. But if I show you, you know, the guitar now. So I've decided that the stock, they're 12 to 53, which is very common for guitars. They were just too heavy for me, and I just don't get on with heavy strings, even on an acoustic. I don't understand heavy strings unless it's a tuning thing. So I have gone for 10 down to 50. So, you know, quite a little bit lighter. So bear that in mind on the sound comparisons because I'm quite certain that will make the guitar a little bit brighter. I've also gone back over the sort of ebony and the polishing and sort of got that up and even sort of, you know, a better level, cleaned it off more, polished it more. And yeah, I'm going to now spend another couple of days with this. Hopefully then this bridge pin, which I've moved to the high E string, will turn up and then we will finally get to some sounds. But like I said, bearing in mind I have lightened the gauge. Alright then, so you heard some sounds with this thing. I tried to sort of throw in like, you know, a couple of different styles, mixing in a few different things with it, so hopefully you like the sounds. So you might have noticed we've got the bridge pins sorted out now. We're a few days later again, so you might start noticing some scratches and stuff on this thing as well. But we do now have a matching set of ebony bridge pins. So like I say, spec wise with this guitar, you got a thermocured Sitka spruce top, you got solid mahogany back and sides, and there's sort of the binding on either end of the front and rear there. That sort of slightly yellow multiply binding. It's quite sort of, it's not over the top, but it does look nice when you sort of pay attention to the detail of it. And the finish, like I said as well, it's my first sort of experience with the true tone finish. My other Eastman's being either an older nitro or the you know, the varnish finish. And I gotta say, as far as modern finishes go, you know, on a mass-produced guitar, the true tone, I really do not have a problem with it, especially on here because it is wafer thin. I am trying to bounce it in the light so you can kind of see, you know, throughout the video you might have noticed the rippling effect as it goes in and out the wood. So that just makes the guitar feel less kind of suffocated, and it just makes it feel a little bit nicer sort of thing. So yeah, I would have no kind of issues with the true tone finishes, to be fair. I think, like I said, as a modern day finish, that's pretty good. So the other thing with this guitar as well is that the scale length is slightly shorter. I think it's about Les Paul scale length. I have got it written down. Yeah, 24 3/4 as opposed to 25 or 25 and a half. So that in conjunction with the slope shoulder, for a dreadnought sort of size guitar, I think that makes it feel way easier to kind of play, because in general I don't tend to get on with, you know, square shoulder, big jumbo bodied acoustics. I'm not a massive person and I just find them very awkward. Whereas this, I feel you're getting all the benefits of that bigger body. You know, it doesn't want to compress, it just projects volume, but more comfortable to play with the shorter scale and, like I say, the slope shoulder. So I think that's a really good thing. And the size, the sort of belt size, is 16 inches across. So that's the same as like a 335. You know, that's 16-inch diameter, but obviously I think it's like 4.5 or just under 5 inches deep. So a lot thicker than a 335. But in terms of the width, it doesn't feel, you know, it just doesn't feel that huge kind of thing. So I guess that brings me on to why this guitar, and this might be important for someone who is looking for, you know, any of these, the E6, the E10, the E20. So I wanted something that, I wanted a bigger body guitar, like I say, and the slope shoulder being easier to play and the looks of it, I just think this as a visual appeal is, you know, the J45 look is, I just think it's a gorgeous thing to look at kind of thing. And I've actually got just here, if I can show you, I've got some bone, I don't want them to fall out, but I've got some bone bridge pins as well in case I want to take it, you know, a little bit closer to a J45 in looks, because they always have white bone bridge pins. But if you're buying this because not only do you like the look of a J45, you want, you know, the sound of a J45. And I've got to say that this, the E10 or the E20, they don't have the sound of a J45. And the only way I can kind of prove that in this video right now is to pop in a clip from my trip to Guitar Village where we actually compared them. So I'll pop that in just now. It's not the best clip, but hopefully you'll kind of see what I mean, and then I'll come back and explain further. But it is a Gibson J45 50s. So I don't know if that clip kind of got across what I was trying to say, but the Eastmans, they just don't have that bottom end push and clarity and feel that you get from such a powerful low end that a J45 has. So if you're looking at these as a J45 Soundalike, it's just not going to do it, in my opinion. I just don't think it has it. And worth saying as well, it's not why I went for these. I was looking much more for the aesthetic and feel of the J45, but all I wanted out of it sound-wise was just a really nice, big, open, powerful kind of acoustic sound, because I've only got a parlour acoustic, which is great for comfort and playability, but when you want to kind of strum it, it does kind of collapse in on itself. So I just wanted a sound that was, you know, a universally decent, big-bodied kind of sound, and that is what this does for me. And I do think with the Sitka spruce top as opposed to the Adirondack top, this, from kind of my memory, feels a bit warmer to the E10s and the E1s that we played. So it's kind of got that going for it. But like I said, I was just after a generically decent, big-bodied acoustic sound, and that's what this is with, like I say, the J45, you know, aesthetic and the slope shoulder playability kind of thing. So I definitely think that's worth noting kind of thing. And I suppose the other thing as well is that, like, this is obviously my first Eastman acoustic. I'm not massively kind of clued up on acoustic, so I'll definitely have to put some hours in on it. But with my other Eastman guitars, so the gold top here, the T59, I've always been quite sort of forward by saying that those guitars, I feel, give you a very, very good taste of what owning a custom shop Gibson or something is like. You know, with the quality, the feel, the sound, they are so close to custom shop instruments. So do I think this in the acoustic world is the same sort of thing? You know, is this like any of the Martins that I've played, or the higher end Gibsons, or the higher end I'm trying to think what else I've played, the Matons or the Atkins? You know, they're kind of your custom shop boutique acoustics. And I would actually say that in this particular case, bearing in mind the E6 is like their mid-range, it's not up there with the higher end stuff, but I would say no, not in the same way that the electrics are. This definitely just feels like just like a really nicely put together, well chosen woods mass-produced guitar. It doesn't have that custom shop kind of extra level feel to it, but like I said, it is only a mid-range Eastman. It's not right up there with the top. But I know that some of you would have seen my other Eastman videos and might have you know, wondered what I thought on that. So I'm gonna keep practicing with this thing because I'm enjoying playing it. Like I said, I took the gauge down to 10 to 50, and I think that suits me more. And as well, the other thing is this is brand new, so you know, what's it going to sound like in a year's time, in 5 years' time, 10 years' time? That it is probably only going to get better. So I'll do what I normally do. I'll report back in 6 months' time or something. And that's it for today's video. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've got an Eastman acoustic and what you think of yours. And I've got the opportunity to compare this to a Martin as well. A little bit irrelevant, but might be interesting just for the fun of it. So let me know if you want to see that. And I will catch you again very soon.